Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSi DFS, Major League Baseball Picks. I'm your host, Mega Ruler 31. Still in the recovery, so here's the deal with today. And if you're a baseball fan and you're off with Good Friday and everything, this would be awesome because with all the rainouts and stuff, there's like so much baseball all through the whole course of the day. And it's usually on a Friday, we just have like a pretty big main slate. There's usually no day baseball. But today, you've got like early slates, you got very early slates. So I know most people are going to be doing videos and have coverage of like what probably is the main slate, which is like 7:20 tonight, which are the night games. So here's what we're going to do for you. I'm going to do a breakdown of the DK 6-game early slate, let's call it. Starts about 3:20 with the Yankees and the Orioles game. So, or 3:05. So I'm going to break that down. But here's what we're going to do for you. We're not going to be like you have to come sign up for our site to get the night information, all that. So come and check back to the video around 6 p.m. tonight. And McKinley or I will post either a link to our sheet or information on like kind of a blurb on what we like for this evening. That will give us a chance to see the lineups, see if any weather changes, because there's some weather concerns, maybe more for the night games. The day games are going to be fine today. No concerns with them so far that I know of, but always check right before lock, just in case there's something we do throw it out there. So we're not going to leave you hanging on that. We'll have information. So if you're looking for the night information, please come back and look around 6 p.m. tonight, and we'll have something posted for you for that. I don't have FanDuel up here. Again, in the interest of time, I did get up at like 4:30 today, start breaking down the slate to make sure that, I had it up, and I got to get recorded quickly so I can get off to work. I work in retail, and Good Friday is going to be a very busy day today. So FanDuel, it's a little bit different. It's only a 4-game slate. It only has Seattle, Cleveland, Houston, Minnesota, White Sox, Pittsburgh, and Kansas City and San Francisco. So I will throw up my thoughts for that in the comments around 9 a.m. today. So if you want to check back for that. Okay, let's just jump right into this slate. Pitching isn't horrible. Pitching isn't great. Wheeler's the top price guy. First time out, not great. He was against Texas, 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, had 7 Ks. Over spring training, little rough too. Only a 5.7 K% in 3 starts, had a 14 ERA. But I think against Cincinnati at home here, this is a good get right spot for him to have here. And looking at this first game, Cincinnati against Philadelphia. Hunter Green on the other side, I think will be. I think he'll be popular here because Philly has really struggled this season to start off. I mean, they don't have Harper. They lost Hoskins out of it. They got some young guys coming up. I don't know, Turner's out for and Schwarber out at the Baseball Classic. So it's just getting this team back together and like chemistry and hitting and working off one another. So I'm just, again, it's their home opener, but you get the wind blowing in. It's 58 degrees, so it's going to be one of the warmer ones on the slate, but still, like, wind's blowing at 10 miles per hour. I think Hunter Green does merit some ownership here at 7.6. He is a strikeout pitcher, and I think he's a young guy that's going to be very good. And I think in a GPP, I think he's a great contrarian play. And as you can see, if you're looking at the sheet, that I have him as my GPP pitcher today, and I'm going to target Wheeler with Cincinnati in a GPP. But in cash, I think Wheeler's the pitcher you want. There's some other guys that we're going to talk about that are also will work for you. Philadelphia, I don't know. They could be yesterday's San Francisco. San Francisco was completely, I talked about them, and I thought, okay, they could put up some runs here against Lynn. I had the catcher Sabol, who I have as my catcher in cash today. Sorry, they didn't even raise the price on him. Like, he's so cheap. He had 3 home runs in spring training. This guy's got some power, and he's sometimes more of a DH than a catcher, and he's a lefty. Like, it just such a good situation. I just hope his price doesn't go up in the stratosphere to keep it. Hope he just keeps on delivering for us. And so, I'm gonna stay on this train until it gets too expensive to ride it. For and hit a home run yesterday. And I hope you didn't play Lynn against him. And if you did, you had a good day. And if you make some more San Francisco in, or if you stack San Francisco in like a short slate, like I said, play almost everybody, then you won a lot of money. So could Philly be the San Francisco and put up a Eagle score instead of a baseball score today? Potentially, but I don't know. I think Green's a decent pitcher. I thought Lynn was a decent pitcher. I thought it was a good situation yesterday too, but they did have some wind blowing out, and here the wind's blowing in. So again, Phillies GPP stack. Yankees and Orioles opener, again, wind blowing in 10 miles per hour, 60 degrees here, so kind of similar weather condition to Philly. You have Clark Schmidt, who he had a decent spring. I mean, he had a 13.5 strikeout per nine. Also had a 8 ERA, but like, he's got a lot of promise. His first game was not good. I'll be honest with you with that. And Baltimore's been hot. So he currently sitting with an 8 ERA. He made it through 3.1 innings with 5 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, but 5 Ks. So again, I have him in the cheap section there. I think if you're playing in GPPs as an SP2, you could take it. But the Orioles have been very, very good, and they're going to be my top GPP stack against him. Kermer on the other side, I do not want to touch. He did not have a good spring training, has a very low K rate. The Yankees, again, have been boom or bust. They've been like runs or strikeouts. So not that's the reason play Kermer, but it's just a reason that I don't feel that the Yankees are one of my strongest stacks today. Again, could they put up a touchdown against them? Absolutely. But I think in all likelihood, you're going to have some of them, like maybe Judge, Rizzo. So like maybe a 3-man stack of them, maybe a 4. But I don't think I'm going to complete 5-man stack of the Yankees until they start to really start clicking and get in sync. And I think that will start coming as the warmer weather comes in, as they get more at bats. So Houston and the Twins, Urquidy and Gray. Cardi struggled a little bit during spring training. Only had 2 starts, a 6.7 ERA. The strikeouts were there. First start was a little rough also against Chicago, who's kind of a similar team to Minnesota here. He made it 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs. So struggled a little power early on. But again, it's going to be a cooler day in Minnesota, 48 degrees, wind blowing in. So I think he's in play, but I think he's probably my 3rd favorite of the medium range guys. Sonny Gray on the other side, I don't understand the total. Like Houston's like a dog in this, and Houston's like a 3.61 total. I don't think Sonny Gray's that good of a pitcher. Yeah, he had some good, he had a really good spring training, but he only made 1 start. He didn't give up a run, and he had like 3 strikeouts. So I don't think Gray is going that deep into the game. He did go 5 innings his first, so maybe he did like an extended or like some bullpen session, but he only had 1 K. So I just, and Houston's a patient team too. So I don't know. I don't think, if you're betting this, I would bet Houston, and I might bet the over here. I don't think it's going to be that much of a pitching duel to only have a 7.5 total here. So I go the over, and I bet Houston if they're still a dog here. And look at that. Houston bats, I definitely like. I'm going to mix them in probably with the GPP with the Cincinnati stack. In Minnesota, maybe some exposure to them, but not super excited. McKinley's going to like this slate because he's been stacking Minnesota and Baltimore, like I stacked Cleveland and Arizona each slate. I can do it more on FanDuel because I have an all day. It's hard to sometimes do it on a DK, but you know, if you want 2 teams, yeah, that's something I always think about. We'll talk about that in another video or more time, but stacking the 2 teams together like every single day over the course of the season can sometimes, if you find the right matchups, if they meld together with position wise, it works really well sometimes for to capitalize. It just gives you a little consistency. So Seattle and Cleveland, this might be a pitching duel. 42 degrees, wind blowing in at 9 miles per hour. Logan Gilbert and Savali, both of them have already faced this team. So Gilbert faced on the first, had 22 DK points. He got the loss, but he only gave up 1 run. There was 1 home run, hit 7 Ks. And then Savall, it was the same game. So he had 24 DK points. He went 7 innings in his first outing, which is amazing. Only 1 walk, but only 3 Ks against the Seattle team. So how's it going to play out here? The weather's looks good for pitching, and it could be a really good pitching duel. So I have the two of them drop down there. I'm just giving, because of his K having 7 Ks, and Savali going deeper but only managing 1 K. I think I'm putting Gilbert above Savali, and I'll get to Giolito in a second. But I think, if you want to pair the two of these and just go after bats, then I have no problem with that. I put both these in the leverage category because I don't really see, I think there's strong pitching and the bullpens are decent too. So I don't really see a lot of offense out of this game. White Sox and the Pittsburgh Pirates, you have Giolito and Hill here. Giolito, again, he didn't have the greatest first start, I don't believe. He went 5 innings, 2 earned runs, no home runs, 6 Ks. So some Ks are there, but it's against Pittsburgh. I know it's in Pittsburgh. The wind's blowing out 10 miles per hour, so 54. So it's a little bit better hitting conditions here, but it is Pittsburgh. There's still some strikeouts in this lineup. So even though some of it's starting to come alive a little bit, I like Giolito. Rich Hill, man, this guy is like the Tom Brady, not like as the GOAT, like the greatest player ever, but Tom Brady is like, he's got probably some great diet or regimen or something to just be around so long. I think he's definitely in his 40s. He lost his first game, but he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 home runs, but still had like 7 Ks. And he had a really good, he had a decent spring training. In 2 games he only had a $1.80 for an ERA, but his Ks were low there. So I think, if you want to mix them into some GPPs as your SP2s, if you're like going up like high for bats, like stacking like the Yankees and Astros or something, then that works. Bat wise, White Sox I think are my favorite one on the slate. I'm gonna target Hill here with the wind blowing out, and I think he's, they had lefty yesterday, and I said, like, they've been neutral against lefties. They haven't struck out, but they haven't like hit much, but or hit with power. But they did put up 3 runs. They put up like their final 3 runs at the end of the game. But I think this is definitely something. But actually, the San Francisco thing turned into like a almost like an opener situation where I think Webb went 3 innings, and then Junis came in and went like 3 innings, and he got the win, and it was kind of goofy situation there. So, but anyways, really like the White Sox and really like Pittsburgh as a GPP stack. So final game, Kansas City and San Francisco. You have Brad Keller and Cobb. Keller, I think, can also be in play here, even though San Francisco was completely on fire. Like if you're playing a GPP, first time out, 4 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks. So let me look at spring training quick here. Yeah, decent K prop in K per 9 in spring training. So again, I'm not recommending that you play him, but a GPP, if you want to sprinkle him in, I think that's fine. Alex Cobb, on the other hand, he had a decent spring training, and against KC, like he only went 3.2 innings his first time out. He did go a couple of starts, so I don't know what's going on there. It was against the Yankees. It didn't look like he was in too much trouble. He only gave up 1 earned run on a home run and 1 walk. He had 6 Ks, which is good. And he scored as much points as Giolito did in 5 and had just as many Ks. So I think he's fine. I think against this Kansas City team in San Francisco. So we'll I mean, both teams traveled. So like it's home for San Francisco. So I definitely think he's in play in the mid-range. I like Green a little bit better, but I like him better than Urquidy. So what I have here for stacks, and we'll get you on your way for holiday weekend, is Wheeler's my SP1. Probably going to use Gilbert or Savalik if I can get up to him. If not, I'm not playing Green or Cobb. I think would fit as my SP2 there in cash. And again, I'm going to take and I'm going to stack San Francisco Sabo, the catcher, Medic Berger there. Second and third base, second base, like you probably might want to one off because there's a lot of money left there. Anderson, El Rob, and Conforto, and then Green for Cincinnati. And then I'm going to stack Cincinnati, Vossler, India, Fredo. I'm taking Bregman, Alvarez. I'm going to finish off with Houston. If you want to put the Yankees in there, another big stack, then, Judge and Donaldson, that works too. So again, I'm MegaRuler31. If you have any questions, put them in the chat below. Hit me up at MegaRuler31. Check back at the video at 9 o'clock for the FanDuel, at 6 o'clock for the evening information. And if you want more information on FSi DFS, it's all in the description of the video here. And hope you have a safe Easter weekend if you're traveling, and thanks for watching the video. Please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and if these videos help you, please share with your friends, and good luck in your content today. I'll see you next time.